Ielts general writing. We've all written letters, and that's why I think this section should be the easiest for everyone. It's just basically revision of what we've been doing for ages. Today, we're going to talk about letter writing, which is part 1 of your Ielts writing test, general. Now, you don't just book for your exam. Of course, you need to train. And before training, you need to know the type of exam you're training for, right? Which of course takes us back to what we already discussed earlier, of course, in our previous video. And if you haven't watched that video, do well to do so. Okay, we talked about the two types of IELTS. We have the general and the academic. What we are going to talk about today is general writing, and you have a clue it's about letter writing. Very well. So the general test is for people who want to immigrate to the UK, Australia, Ireland, Canada, or New Zealand. It's widely accepted for one, we have visa employment applications, education at high school level, and academic training such as practical courses. It's different from the IELTS academic test, which is required by universities and professional registration bodies. So here are some important facts you've got to know before sitting for your exam. One, you need to know that in task 1, you are required to write a total of 150 words, which you are basically needed to do in about 20 minutes. You have 60 minutes for your whole writing exam, so it's up to you to divide your time very well to ensure that you do both task 1 and 2 in the 60 minutes you have. That's an hour. It's advisable to do your task 1 in 20 minutes and task 2 because you're needed to write 250 words for task 2. So if you do it in 40 minutes, it's gonna be better for you. And this is something that has worked for so many candidates, if not all. Okay, and then let's talk about the test format. You're required to write a letter requesting information or explaining the situation in relation to a specific circumstance. So the first thing you must do is to identify the type of letter you are supposed to write. We have 3 types of letters. We have a formal letter, we have an informal letter, and we have a semi-formal letter. All those letters have a particular style they are supposed to be presented in. So let's look at formal letters. This is a letter you're writing to someone you have not met, whose name you don't know. Remember, whether you've met this person or not, the assumption here is you've never met this person, which makes it an official letter. You are supposed to present the letter in an official format. Okay. The examiner is only going to consider the marking criteria for formal letters and not the fact that you may have a knowledge of this person in person. So focus, focus, focus. The opening of the letter is usually dear sir, stroke madam. You don't know this person, obviously you don't know the gender of this person, so dear sir, stroke madam is the best opening format to use. In this type of letter, you could be requesting for information from a company, making a job application, complaining to a bank about your lost money, complaining to a store, to an airline, or even making a complaint about an oil product you bought that messed up your skin. Secondly, we have semi-formal letters. These are letters you write to people you may or may not have met, whose last names you know, like Dear Miss Sidika, Dear Mrs. Likata. So it could be your neighbor, it could be your landlord, it could be your professor, your lecturer. These are people you know, but you do not really have a close relationship with, but you know them. I hope you get the difference now. So in these letters, you could be complaining to a landlord, maybe about a leaking sink, explaining to a neighbor about the noise you made yesterday, asking a lecturer for a permission, or maybe requesting your colleague to step in for you. And finally, we have informal letters. Everyone has written an informal letter, and this makes it the easiest letter to write because these are letters we write to people we are very close to. Could be our friends, uncle, auntie, your husband, your wife, your mom, your sister, your daughter, someone you are very close to. That means the style of language is totally different. You cannot refer to your friend as Mr. someone. You can, but this is an informal letter. Let your language be informal. Yeah. It could be Dear Joan, Dear Anita, Dear Auntie, Dear Bro. You could be inviting your friend for your birthday celebration. It could be informing your mom about your school life. Having said that, let's look at the grading criteria. One, we have task achievement. You've got to do everything you are asked to do. Okay, you've got to understand the question. Just so you know, you will always have a question with directions of what you are supposed to write about, just bullet points of what you are supposed to discuss throughout your letter. So you don't have an excuse. You've already been given the guidelines. Just being creative enough to come up with something, even if it's a lie, as long as you are presenting it in the English language and it should respond to the question. It's not just about writing, making noise. You're supposed to write something that can be understood and something that is in line with what you have been told to write. So you've got to give a fully developed response, include or cover all the necessary points as I've mentioned, and don't forget, never write anything less than 150 words. Never. And then secondly, we have coherence and cohesion. I already mentioned this, but coherence focuses on how you present your ideas logically. You are supposed to use structured paragraphs. For cohesion, you need to ensure that your points stick together, they make sense, and they convey your message. You need to also use standard expressions and transitional words. And then third, we have lexical resources. You are advised to use a wide range of vocabulary naturally, correctly, and fluently. Use correct spelling and choose the right words. And then, of course, grammar range and accuracy. You need to use a wide range of grammar structures. Ensure your punctuations are on point. And just remember the basic information. A sentence begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop, a period. You see, this is the easiest part of your general writing test. Just writing a letter. You have everything you need. It's just you to ensure that you are responding to the question you've been presented with. That's all for now. In our next video, we'll be looking at how to write a formal letter. I'll be posting videos on daily basis, and of course I'll be informing you of what I'll be going to post in the next video, just like I've done now. So ensure you watch the next video. Don't forget to share. Thank you so much for joining me here today. It's me, Sidika. See you next time. Bye.